They want to happy Sunday, my people. Happy Sunday. Happy New Year, NDI Igbo. Happy New Year, NDI Igbo. Echi gara aga na taa anya ndị Igbo abatago na our New Year. Yeah. Anya batago na our New Year. Me mahamara na mgbe ọbụla gị nọ na-celebrate New Year. The Western world, the Roman, when kegi as nwa afọ mara ya own ka anyị nọ kemgbe gboo before dịka Western abịa ekọta ma ịma ha kwan were this video na wee mara Igbo 4 days 1 week n'ala Igbo 4 days bụ 1 week n'ala Igbo. So onye m na-eme ka onye ọbụla na-amata otu week wụ 4 days 28 days wụ otu ọnwa 28 days wụ otu ọnwa. Gị mara omenala gị ege na-akọta ihe na-eme. So this video na-awụ ihe gbasara ihe IBB akwụkwọ dere. Aha akwụkwọ ha kwanụ Journey in the Service. Ya bụrụ sị the world, mostly British, anọ against ndị Igbo kemgbe gboo ọwụ today ọwụ taa kemgbe gboo amamhe mere no he ji wee kpọ anyị ụgwọ because after the Berlin conference in 1863 1864, but before that Berlin conference British enwego interest ebe ndị Igbo nọ. British enwego interest ebe ndị Igbo nọ. So I can't really tell why he ji wee kpọ anyị ụgwọ that way, because if really that UN exists, or enwere ICJ, which is International Court of Justice, if UN exists, NATO exists, ECOWAS exists, AU exists, IBB new book Journey in the Service is one of the most interesting book and something that would have wake up the world to give us Biafra. Makana the lies, if you check this, what happened, this is lied. You know, this is a lied cooked very well that lasted for 54 to 55 years before the truth happened. Why this man is very silent for many years? Not only him, including Gowon. For him to confess now and to speak the truth now, when over 6 million has already died in Igbo, when the youth, the age of 50, 40, 30 from the north and west has already hate Igbo, when there has already divide Africa, make Igbo to look bad, why we the Igbo are the light of Africa. Last week ago, they are talking about an American man accusing Barack Obama and his cabinet of her sponsoring Boko Haram. This is also the same thing that happened in 1966, because the envy and jealousy was the reason why the British confuse or meet with some African desperate people who want to be president, like Awolowo, Abefemi Awo, and others, because they want to be president in all means. In all means, they want to be president. Meet them, and they created these lies. They created the coup, then changed the coup against the NDI Igbo. For me, I know from the beginning that there has never been an Igbo coup, but it's a story they use just to get us down, out of jealousy and envy. Out of jealousy and envy. So what am I trying now to say? Please, the AU, the African group, though this group I'm not going to function because they are just there to share money. If there is an African group that take action without no works, give us Biafra. Give the Southeast Biafra. Because you cannot kill over 6 million people, buy over 6 million people out of false information. And you have destroyed their culture, destroyed their women, destroyed their farmland, destroyed their business, and tarnished their image before the youth from the other area. You still want us to be among this country? It's questionable. If there is UN, if there is world power or world police, the book has speak it all, that these people should go, because the persecution and the sacrifice that we has already done in Nigeria is enough for us to be free. It's enough for us to be free. Just out of envy of British, because the Easterners was then recorded as the most fastest growing region in the world. So the thing now bring up fear to the British. Fear, egwad ebidona tofa, that if you allow these people, they are going to liberate other Africans, and we will not have food again to eat, because 45% of Brits food of British mostly eat today come from Nigeria, directly from Ali Igbo. Ali Igbo is the only region that is still sustaining British government. Any day Biafra comes, British will fall, because the only breed they have is our resources. And these people, they don't hate us today. This thing never started from the coup. It started before the Berlin Conference, because we, the NDI Igbo, has already had a war with them called Ekumeku. Ekumeku war was fought by Anioma people, and that war lasted for 31 years. Check it, 31 years. The war started in 1883, which is after the Berlin Conference, when British believed that we belongs to them as their own company, because they balkanize Africa, so we fall in their own farm. So they believe that we belong to them, and we in the Igbo said we don't belong to them, we belong to ourselves. So it's too tough, it's too hard for them to get us down or to bring us down the way they want. So in 1883, war broke out between the Igbo and the British. So this Ekumeku war, the meaning of Ekumeku means silent. It's a movement of silence. It's a Ekumeku war that brought a wisdom in the military today that called a guerrilla war. Some people don't know their history. You hear about guerrilla war, guerrilla style. The people who come up with that word is NDI Igbo, Ekumeku, which means silent movement. So this Ekumeku war lasted for 31 years. After the Ekumeku war, British never find it so funny to stay grab Ndi Igbo. That's why they come to attack Aro in 1901. In 1901, after they believe that we, the Nigerians, have come together, because then they has already forced some of our branches to be part of Nigeria during the time of Lugard, Macpherson, and Helelete. So they believe that we are now close to their power, to their throne. So they now believe that they will introduce an indirect rule that can able to enforce their law to the grassroots. That was how come about a word called Eze. Eze never be part of Igbo culture. Eze aboro Igbo tradition. Eze anohani in Igbo tradition at all. Eze is not part of us. Eze is British style of government they use to penetrate the indigenes of Ndi Igbo, because it was hard for them to penetrate us. It was hard for them to win the war. So after the Ekumeku war, they now bring in indirect rule called chief warrant. Everything started from chief warrant, which when you come in Hituboma, earlier chief warrants like Ndi Amini, a man from Ukwu, think Amoji, they contest the drag that time, so everything fall to Ovwebe. That is how Ovwebe become the chief warrant, which happened now Eze. So when the British people come up with this, their indirect rule, that is how Igbo culture, belief, unity, love began to diminish, began to go down. So when they introduce it, they thought they have already gotten us. So, but there is a group, there is one thing that remained for them to grab us all, was Arochukwu, the Igbo soldiers. So that was why war broke out again, to show that Igbo and British never, their spirit never come close. Igbo never accept British. British never accept them. They hate each other, and we hate because of British only interested in our resources, while Igbo is only defending their culture and its people. You see? So that's why war broke out in 1901. Yes. In 1901, that lasted for 1 year, that stopped in 1902. The end of Anglo-Arab War was the final war between Ndi Igbo and the British that gave them the free chance to introduce Ndi Eze for us. All this Ndi Eze started at the end of Anglo-Arab War in 1902. British have tried several times, even in 18 to 19 in 18 centuries ago. British pierced a problem between Igala and Igbo about land dispute. between Nsukka and the Benue. Igala and Igbo fought war also 18 to 19 centuries ago, was caused by the British through propaganda, the same way it happens in Biafra war. Ojukwu never need war. To tell you that these people called British, how they hate us. How can other people plan coup? Even is we, the NDI Igbo, defend, stop that coup. Because Ojukwu never allowed the coup to penetrate in his own state. When he was in Kaduna Barrack, he protected that area. Even Agironsi did. It's NDI Igbo that even wage that weight. But upon the sacrifice that Igbo did, they used propaganda, media, to turn everything against NDI Igbo. Because the British has been looking away to make sure they dealt with us. Make sure they bring us down. But chi ka anyị na-efe karịrị ha. Chi anyị dị iche, anyị na-efe chi okike, chi nnukwu, chi ndị Igbo. So gịwa onye Igbo, gịwa onye Ishinimo, Abia, ma whichever area you from, but iwu onye Igbo, vuru n'obi gị mara asị British ahụghị n'anya. Ọ bụla hụrụ kwa wee mere ha, even to gas school n'obodo ha, nwee green pepper, were ihe mere Nnamdi Kanu were mara ihe. How can a man that have a British document are still in prison for 5 years plus? 5 years now. 2022, they brought up his topic in their chamber, discuss it just for 5 minutes only and stop. Because they are looking for how to get him down, how to make sure that Igbo go down. Onye mara asụ, you also n'ikwe. Onye na-amaghị asụ, you also pesa pati ya. If Nigeria, if Africa have a good group like AU, if the world still exists and still believe in justice and fairness, IBB book is enough reason for us to have Biafra, because it's a very good confession to tell the world that over 6 million people they killed are all innocent. So such blood that they wasted supposed to be a sacrifice. It's enough sacrifice for the world to say, you don't do. Let these people go. Please, we are calling the UN, the ICJ, NATO, any group that govern the world with justice and fairness to look into the predicament of NDI Igbo under Nigeria and look into this lie that has lasted for 54 to 55 years before they confess. They should look into it and free NDI Igbo. It's time to give us Biafra. Use this confession through IBB book to give us Biafra. We are due. We have sacrificed enough. Give us Biafra. That's what I can able to say. The world, give us Biafra. Africa Union, wake up, speak up about Biafra. The more you people hold the Biafrans down as a tools from the Westerners, the more they are holding Africa down. Because it's only Igbo that can liberate Africa and others race. It's only Igbo can do that. Because we believe in never give up. We believe in Onyagala Wanneya. We believe that we can do it. And based on spirituality. Igbo, we are in a upper level in spirit of good things, progress, truth, justice, and fair. Our spirit, you say, is clean spirit of onogu, justice, and fair. The word free Ndi Igbo. We Ndi Igbo need Biafra. The sacrifice we has done in Nigeria is enough for the world to use the evidence of IBB new book, Service in His Journey, to let Biafra go. That is where I stand. That's where I can able to say, please let Nigeria peacefully give Ndi Igbo the southeast Biafra. For me, the southeast should go as Biafra.